3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Ghost Pirate Presents Horrorween. This is episode 10 of 13, and in this episode we talk about Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. People are very divided on this movie, but I have a lot of love for this movie. And a lot of it comes from I've never really seen it as a Halloween movie. I've always just referred to it and thought of it as Season of the Witch. I've always felt if you just take Micheal Myers out of the equation and just think of it as its own movie and not as part of the Halloween series, that right there to me makes it a totally different movie. One that I totally get behind and something I have enjoyed most of my life. So another thing to keep in mind is that John Carpenter, as well as his whole crew that did the original Halloween, had no intentions to even do a Halloween 2, much less go beyond that with the Micheal Myers story. But John Carpenter was convinced for multiple reasons to do Halloween 2. And in turn, he convinced his crew to do it with him. But after Halloween 2, there was no plan at all to do another Micheal Myers movie. But when the studio came to them and basically greenlit do another storyline to do with Halloween, but just nothing to do with Micheal Myers and a whole new story, John Carpenter was on board as well as the rest of his crew. The idea was going to be that every year there'd be a new Halloween movie with different characters and a different storyline and have to do with Halloween, but just with whole new characters and concepts. Everybody was excited about that idea, and everybody, including John Carpenter, was in on that idea. But there was never going to be this continuation of Micheal Myers. Back then, people didn't do lots of sequels. There wasn't these long series of movies. Doing a sequel in general was a fairly new concept. So they never intended to keep the Micheal Myers storyline going. I've always loved how much you can feel the presence of John Carpenter in this film. The musical score is one of his very best, in my opinion. Somewhere between a Halloween and Escape from New York. It just has that 80s synth vibe that I just love so much that he does. But just everything about this movie I absolutely love. I love the three masks. I love how much you see the time of year. You see the excitement in the kids wearing costumes. You see them running around on the streets trick-or-treating. But yet it has this really dark, deep underbelly that really makes it a lot of fun. And there's a mystery to this one. It's much more of a mystery, and it's not really a slasher. And that also really separates it from a Halloween movie, in my opinion. Just the overall tone of it is very different. But I love how it deals with that druid, evil darkness that ends up becoming such a huge part of the Halloween series later on, with the Thorn cult and all the other Halloween mythos that is created. So in that part, you can attach this to Halloween. So it's all about how open-minded you are, in my opinion. But I feel like if you could just look at this as its own movie and quit worrying about Micheal Myers, like, dude, there's a bunch of other movies. There's like 10 other movies with Micheal Myers in them, like, or 9, whatever it is. But there's a lot. You don't have to have Micheal Myers in every single movie you watch. I'm just saying, I feel like a lot of fans of horror are kind of closed-minded when it comes to this movie. But I have really appreciated over the last, 10 years or so, seeing more and more people loving this movie and it becoming much more of this cult favorite. To me, it just belongs on a Halloween list. Movies that I watch annually this time of year. It has a Halloween feel to it that's unique and different than a lot of the other movies you saw around that time. But it still very much feels like the spirit of Halloween. I love how much technology and sci-fi is a part of this as well. And it's just different. There's a lot of really awesome horror scenes, but at the same time, it has a much more of a sci-fi feel. I've always felt like this movie feels like it's somewhere between Halloween and Escape from New York. And I love both of those movies, and to me this feels just perfect, sitting right in the middle. It is always going to be one of my favorite John Carpenter movies. The acting and the characters are all unique in this, which I enjoy. And just the overall feel of this has a really unique, weird feel, which is also why I think a lot of people struggle with it, is because it's just very different. It has a really unique, really different feel about it. It just sits all weird and unique, like the black sheep of the Halloween family. And I just think that's awesome. I love the black sheep. I love Halloween 3. So I think if you go into it with a fresh perspective, thinking of it as its own unique entity, I feel like you could really enjoy this film. No matter what, I will always love this movie, and it will always be on my short list of Halloween movies that I watch this time of year. Alright guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ding the bell. But like always, thank you so much for watching. Please crush that like button. And remember, horror can be fun. I will see you guys next time.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, the night no one comes home.